This week on the Tiger Lacrosse Report, we'll discuss how the Tigers fared in the 2015 CAA Championship Tournament. Did the Tigers take the crown to the conference to make the NCAAs? Who will they face? You'll find all that out and more as this week's episode of the Tiger Lacrosse Report begins now. Hello Tiger fans, and welcome to the Towson Sports Network studio for another episode of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas. The Tigers traveled up to Fairfield, Connecticut, where the top-seeded Stags of Fairfield hosted the CAA Championship Tournament. Towson came into the tournament ranked third in the CAA after losing to Drexel in their final regular season game. However, the Tigers had instant redemption against the Dragons in the first round of the CAA Championship, defeating Drexel 11-8 to advance to the CAA Championship final round. Let's take a look at the highlights against the Dragons.
Gets it to Kay. Kay coming down the right side. He'll wind, he'll shoot, and he scores. 2-0 Dragons. With 3:37 to go here in the first quarter. Flips it over to Cuccinello. Cuccinello up top, gets it to McCarty. Ben comes down, shoots and scores. Ben McCarty with the goal. His 8th of the year, his 5th in the last 4 quarters and 13 minutes against Drexel, and it's 2-1 Dragons with 1:42 to go in the first. And coming up with it is Pat Conroy. Conroy comes down. Conroy shoots and scores! Pat Conroy with a long stick, and the Tigers have tied it at 2. And for Pat, that is his 2nd goal of the season. Max with 5 seconds. Starts up the left. Comes up, turns, shoots and scores! Max Siskin has given the Tigers the lead 3-2, and for Max, goal number 15 on the year with 1.5 seconds left in the quarter. Up top, Mavis. 20 seconds left on the penalty. Mavis to Sider. Sider back up top to Mavis to Sider. Wide, shoots and scores. Goal number 28 for Joe Sider, and the Tigers take their first 2-goal lead of the game. It's 4-2. They're on a 4-0 run. Work it over on the left side. Down low, shot, and Schaefer's got 4 goals. 5-4 Dragons with 11:27 to go in the half. So Drexel scores the first 2. The Tigers score 4 in a row. Drexel comes back with 3 in a row. Livingston feeds left to Drenner. Up top to Sider. Shoots and scores. Joe Sider with his 2nd. The Tigers up 6-5. Man tries to shoot, the ball comes out of his stick, and Drexel will come up with it, and the half comes to an end. So the Tigers, who fell behind 2-0, then burst ahead 4-2, then fell behind 5-4, will take a 6-5 lead going into halftime. Pin spins to the left, feeds down the left side. Right there in front of the goal is Frederick, and Tyler White with a point-blank save, as the Tigers will try to clear. What a play by the Tiger goalie and defensive player of the year in the CAA. Ball loose, luckily for the Tigers. It goes right to Joe Sider. He has it knocked out of his stick. But coming up with it is Tyler Young. He goes through 4 Dragons. He gets fouled. He comes down, flips it to Drenner. Shot, score! Ryan Drenner, 8-6 Tigers. Takes it into the bottom left-hand corner. 10:25 to go, Tigers by 2. Drenner feeds it to Siskin, who shoots and scores his 2nd goal of the game, and the Tigers up 9-6. And that's their biggest lead of the ball game. Feed up top to Kay. Kay back over to the right to Frazee. He'll wind, he'll shoot, and he scores. I think Jack Adams may have screened Tyler White on that. It's 10-8 with 4:39 to go. Yep. Top to Sider, 5 left. Sider comes down. Shot, score, Tigers.
Flag.
Ben McCarty with the goal, and the Tigers lead 11-8 with 14.1 seconds.
Ryan Drenner led the Tigers. He had 5 points on 4 assists and a goal, and Justin Mavis had 2 goals and 2 assists. Joining me is the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen. And Coach, how did it feel to knock out that team that had beaten you just 5 days prior?
Felt pretty good, and I thought the team, after losing to Drexel in the regular season to end the regular season, just kind of put it behind us, put the last 2 games behind us, and was ready to build on what we finished the second half with against Drexel, with the energy and the pace of play that we did, and they came out ready to go. I think they were not happy with themselves, and they played with an attitude and an edge, and that showed against Drexel. We went down a little bit early, but obviously battled back and kind of took it to them down the stretch.
And that's kind of odd, because during the course of the year, it seemed like if you guys fell behind early on, you had a hard time catching up. Where this time you did, and you pulled ahead and won by 3. The other thing that again, we had talked about on last week's show was that you expected Nick Saputo to try to make some changes at the face-off circle to go against Alec Berkeley, but Alec was tremendous again against Drexel on Thursday.
He was. The changes we expected, I don't know if Nick really, tried to change up too much rather than just trying to be more on the whistle and, play a little bit more defense when he wasn't winning it. And I think Alec was ready for the challenge. I talked to him after the regular season game, and, the immediate thing he said, he appreciated my comments, but he's like, yeah, I couldn't be more pumped up about Thursday and being able to get back out there and compete against Nick. So Alec was ready for the challenge, and the team, being able to just have that poise in the fight after that early deficit to get those goals back and to get it to be a game, just showed how much the guys really cared.
You outscored Drexel in the second half of the game last Saturday, the regular season finale, which you lost by 1. Was the momentum that you had in that second half, did that carry over at all to Thursday, you think?
Absolutely. I think it just showed what it did. I think it showed our guys of like, hey, we haven't been playing well the past, 6 quarters, but, these last 2 quarters, we got back to who we are, and it showed that they could find themselves, when they play for the right reasons, when they, really have that sharp focus and play with that edge and that determination and hustle, that showed who we really are. And I think the guys lost that a little bit against Hofstra and that first half against Drexel, and it was a wake-up call. And that wake-up call, pushed them into Thursday, and, what better way to spur some energy and adrenaline than, being able to face the team you lost to by a goal after giving them 5-goal lead in the first half.
So the Tigers advanced to the final round of the CAA Championship to take on surprising UMass, the number 4 seed. We'll come back, take a look at what happened there. The Tiger Lacrosse Report, presented by Northwestern Mutual, with head coach Shawn Nadelen, will return right after these words.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
We got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Right, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. I'm Spiro Morekas. The Minutemen of UMass advanced to the final round of the CAA Championship after defeating the top seed and host Fairfield in the semifinals. Unfortunately for the Minutemen, the Tigers were hungry for the trophy as they came out of the locker room focused and aggressive. Towson and UMass exchanged runs in the second half, but the Tigers prevailed to win the 2015 championship by a final score of 9-8. Let's take a look at the highlights of the championship game.
Behind is Drenner. Ryan feeds in front. Siskin shoots, scores. Tigers up 2-0. Max Siskin with his 17th goal of the year. Top to McCarty. Work it over on the right side to Sider. Moving in. Joe flips it behind to Mavis. Mavis comes up the left. Moves into the middle of the field. Turns. Shoots. Scores. Tigers up 3-0. Justin Mavis with his 11th goal of the year. This is making no effort to move towards the goal and shoot. We've already had one stall warning. Now Hegarty turns, fires, and scores. He comes up the right side and gets his 21st goal of the year. So after Towson takes a 3-0 lead, UMass has scored 2 in a row. They've cut it to a 1-goal game. Koenig comes up the left. Tyler feeds up top. Sider. Wine shoots and scores. Top right-hand corner. A bullet by Joe Sider. His 31st goal of the year and his second of the afternoon. And the Tigers stop the 2-0 UMass run. It's 4-2 with 10:19 to go in the half.
Yeah.
Greg will take it all the way back along the end line, behind the crease. Comes up the right. Turns. Shoots and scores. Greg Cuccinello finally gets his 3rd goal of the season. And that has been a long time coming, and the Tigers up by a 5-2 count. Trying to move in, feed in front of McCarty with a push shot, no, and the half's going to come to an end. So Towson had a couple of shots there late, couldn't quite get it to go through, but they go into halftime leading 5-2. Right side. Feeds it behind the cage to Hegarty. Hegarty comes up the left turn, shoots and scores. 5-4, so UMass has come out and scored 2 in the first 5 minutes of the second half, and they've cut this Tiger lead to 1. Sokol coming down the right, moving in. Sokol shoots, scores. We're tied at 5. Andrew Sokol with his 17th goal, and we've got a timeout. Behind the cage to Hegarty. Hegarty behind to Mariano. Work it out front. One shot and a score. Gianni Bianchi, his 13th of the year, and UMass has their first lead of the game, 6-5. And now stall warning been put on the Tigers. Sider, double teamed up top to McCarty. McCarty to his right, gets it to Lynch. Lynch bounces one home, and the Tigers have tied it at 6. That's Mike Lynch with his 6th goal of the year. Coming up the right side, Tigers leading 7-6. Cooch throws left side, working top of the box to Sider. Joe coming down. Joe fires and scores. He's got a hat trick, and the Tigers with an 8-6 lead and 9:10 to go. And Muller moves to the right, gonna wind, shoot, and score off of Tyler White's body, and it kicks straight up and in. Tyler hit it, and it went over his head and into the goal. Work it down the left side, feed it out to Bianchi, top of the box, Hegarty. Over to his right, work it down low, feed in front, shot, score. Gianni Bianchi, and we are tied at 8 with 3:36 to go. They get it to Siskin. Max comes up. Max flips it up top to Sider. 23 left on the shot clock. Moving in, Mavis. Ball's loose in front of the cage as Mavis got hit. Ball's still rolling loose. Fight for it. Shot to score! And I have no idea who did it. Mavis, maybe.
I believe it was Justin Mavis with the goal. And that goal comes with 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
UMass is a terrific team. They showed that today. We knew they weren't going to go away quietly, and they've been actually, we've looked at their statistics coming into this game, and they've been a plus big-time team in the second half, and then we knew we had to come out with more energy, more focus, and we didn't do that. They came in and chipped away, got it to even, got up, and I was proud of our guys being able to stay poised, focused, and we had a little bit of issue there in that third quarter, but rebounded and just stayed in the fight till the end.
Justin, you had the game-winning goal. It was a behind-the-back shot. Describe that play, because it was a scrum in front of the cage.
Yeah, well, I thought I saw Max coming across the crease, but The defenseman made a great play, knocked it down. Max kept the ball on the ground. I was able to come in front, find the ball, and just reacted. Nothing to it, just reacted, and you know, it went in, so not fighting it.
Justin Mavis finished the game with 2 goals, including the game winner and 1 assist. Joe Sider had the hat trick with 3 goals and was named the most outstanding player in the tournament. Coach, before we get to that final possession where Justin Mavis had the behind-the-back shot that everybody saw but me, you guys come out, you lead 5-2 at halftime. But I know that you knew UMass was going to have a run left in them.
Absolutely. That's who UMass is. They're a tough team for the entire game, but especially in that second half. And that was something that we communicated to our guys, understanding that, you know, regardless of what we did in that first half, UMass is thinking nothing of that. They're just thinking about coming out hungrier, more determined, looking to make more plays, you know, both hustle and execution than what they did in the first half. And they did, and our guys, I don't think, handled that well. You know, we didn't make good decisions on the defensive end. We were a little lethargic there in the third quarter, giving them some decent looks. And, you know, offensively, we didn't have a lot of rhythm. And it was just a little bit of a crazy third quarter. But, you know, for our guys to stay poised and composed, our seniors and captains stepped up and did a good job kind of corralling everybody back in and being able to push through that obviously, you know, that fourth quarter.
You guys win the ball game by a score of 9-8, and talk about the play where Justin had the behind-the-back shot with the game winner, what turned out to be the game winner with about 2 minutes left.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was, you know, a shot that had gotten rebounded. Max was in front of the cage and had kind of overrun the ball. Their best short-stick defensive player, an All-CAA nominee, Izzo, actually had an opportunity to get the ground ball, and luckily he didn't come up with it and really didn't have any pressure. And then Max got in the scrum, Justin got in the scrum, and I think there was at least 3 or 4 UMass guys in there. And just watching it on film, because I didn't see exactly what happened live besides you know, the behind-the-back shot for the goal. You know, Justin was able to kind of rake the ball back into a stick and all in one motion, just bring it behind his back and just have the wherewithal, you know, to be able to get a quick shot off, and knowing that the goalie, you know, wasn't going to be expecting it, and he puts it, you know, it looked like 5-hole to me, through Oliveri, which, you know, we had a hard time putting any goal past Oliveri in the whole game. You know, what a way to win with a goal like that.
Well, but the game wasn't over because UMass had possession there at the end, and I'm sure, what were you feeling over that final minute and a half when UMass was working it around trying to get that game-tying goal?
Make a stop, baby. Keep making stocks, get the ball, and get it down the other end. I was frustrated that we didn't get possession off the face-off because we had faced off well all tournament. Obviously, UMass was coming at us with everything they had to get that ball. They had to. And, you know, we had gotten the ball back behind us in the off the face-off, and Alec had gotten over the ball, and they called him for a withholding, and, you know, and he wasn't able to keep his body under control there. They get the ball, and we wanted to stay man-to-man. You know, we didn't want to give them decent looks, and through our zone, they were able to score a couple goals on us there. So we wanted to keep the pressure on them, stay physical with them. They ended up calling a timeout. You know, we continued to talk about the pick game, you know, because they were able to expose us a couple times within their pick game. And then I knew they were out of timeouts after that, so any other shots, I didn't want to give them another opportunity. So we had 2 in our bag still. I didn't want to call one just to let them set up a play or anything like that. So we told the defense, you know, just continue to stay in the fight, stay engaged right off the whistle. And, you know, Tyler came up with a great save from about 15 yards out from Haggerty, banged it off his knee, and then we just, you know, JoJo locked into Mariano at the end of the game, and then shot set wide, and, you know, we brought the trophy home.
Certainly did. So the Tigers heading to the NCAA tournament. They will take on High Point, and we'll be back with the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual to talk about the NCAAs right after these words.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
We got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Red, sign that! Yeah!
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. I'm Spiro Morekas. The Tigers are headed back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2013. They will host High Point. The Panthers will come into Johnny Unitas Stadium at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday night. The Panthers claim the Southern Conference title with their win over the number 20 Richmond Spiders in double overtime, 9-8. The winner will advance to the round of 16 when they will take on the top-seeded Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Coach, you and High Point both have elite defenses. Both teams are facing off very well. Obviously, High Point is coming in hot. This is a team that beat you 2 years ago, and I know was one that kind of shocked the lacrosse world when High Point won that game against the Tigers in the opener down in North Carolina. So for your juniors and seniors, not only is it an NCAA tournament, but kind of a little revenge on their mind.
Yeah, we luckily got them up at our place last year and were able to get a win. But it was something that we definitely have in the back of our minds with regards to how we handled that game. In 2013, first game of the season, and how that unfolded. High Point is a dangerous team, just like anybody in the tournament. We're one of 18 teams, and any of these teams, can make good things happen. We wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't. So I'm excited about the opportunity. The guys are. They understand that High Point is a threat, and we got to make sure that we come out, guns a slinging to take it to them.
Looking at their stats early on, the one thing that sticks out is when they're a man down, they are tremendous. They only give up 26% in man down situations. So obviously, they're a defense that can lock you down.
They can, and their goalie is a big part of that. And I'm a big believer that your goalie makes a big difference with regards to, especially man down situations, but overall defense. But they do some different things against you. They're aggressive in a man down, where other teams will kind of sit back and let you run your sets. They're a little bit more aggressive, banking on their goalie to be able to make some nice saves if and when he has to, but he also makes the consistent save as well. So they really believe in him and what he's been doing so far.
Their leading scorers are Mike LeClaire and Matt Thistle. What do you see in them when you look at game tape?
They're terrific guys. That both those guys are very balanced. They can both dodge and handle the ball. Both can play off ball. Matt's an explosive, quick kind of slasher dodger. LeClaire's a little bit bigger. Doesn't mind leaning in on you, but also getting to an edge. Really good vision on his part. All three of their attackmen. This is one of the more talented and balanced attack units that we've seen along those two, along with Dan Lomas, who's a terrific Canadian lefty goal scorer for them. This is an attack that's going to pose challenges for our defense, specifically our close defense, and our guys got to be ready for the challenge.
You got Andrew Cordes back recently. He had suffered an injury. How important is that to your close defense?
It's great, having another guy to be able to put out there who's got experience and then coming back from injury, and having these last two CAA playoff games to get his feet back underneath him is huge. Andrew, I think, is looking better and better every day. He's excited. He's obviously more confident now that he's been out there a couple games, getting some live reps. that gives us more options. With Nick Gorman getting the experience he did this year, getting back on the field, and Andrew, gives us some guys that in the playoffs, especially with a game on Wednesday and potentially on Saturday, you might need to have some fresh legs, all over the field. So having these Andrew back helps us on the defensive end.
Obviously, you knew you were in the tournament. Take us through the emotions the team had last night, as we're filming this on Monday, as they watched the selection show.
Yeah, I had kind of talked to the guys before the selection, so just letting them know kind of what I thought. I knew nothing of what the committee was going to do, but just kind of having experience of this in the past, and now with the first 4 games going mostly by RPI and things like that, I figured we'd have one of these first 4 games, and most likely, because they do it geographically, it'd be against High Point. So, I think for all intents and purposes, the guys kind of knew and expected that's what it was. So when we saw it come up on the board, we were excited. The guys weren't, they weren't going crazy or anything like that. They already knew they were in the tournament. We won that. We got the automatic bid. It wasn't a shock or a surprise to us. We celebrated that. Championship, the CAA Championship on Saturday, and the berth to the NCAA tournament. So that was their emotions then, and now they're just excited to see their actual opponent, come through from the committee, and that they're ready to dial into that.
All right, let's obviously the High Point game has to be played, but if you advance past High Point, you move to Saturday to take on the #1 team in the country, Notre Dame. That would have to be a thrill for your players to be able to go to play at Notre Dame against the Fighting Irish and try to knock off the #1 seed in the tournament.
Absolutely. I think our guys are always excited about opportunities like that. They're excited about being in the NCAA tournament, and we want to make the most of our opportunity. And we got a real special senior class, and we got a group of young men underneath them that are going to follow their lead. And we have to obviously take care of business on Wednesday to face Notre Dame, and then hopefully, if we're able to do that, I know the guys will be chomping at the bit to be able to get out there and be able to see what we can do against Notre Dame.
One thing you got to know about this Tiger team: #1 in the nation in fewest turnovers per game, 2nd in the nation in goals allowed per game, and Alec Berkeley has been on fire at the circle. You do those 3 things, you're going to be in every ball game. We have to take one final break, but we'll be back with more of the Tiger Lacrosse Report presented by Northwestern Mutual right after this.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Strong can heal from miles away. Unitas for a common good. And turn a simple video into endless laughter. Strong can take you all the way to the summit.
So cool!
Blue. Think what Strong can do for you.
Can I play too? She asked.
AT&T's network now has the nation's strongest 4G LTE signal.
With communication comes trust. At Northwestern Mutual, we start by getting to know you, then together build a financial plan that takes advantage of life's opportunities.
Welcome back to the Tiger Lacrosse Report, and Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck against the Panthers on Wednesday night.
Thanks, Spiro.
As we have mentioned, the Tigers will be playing in a First Four game against the Panthers of High Point Wednesday night at 7:30 in Johnny Unitas Stadium. Tickets are available online at TowsonTigers.com or 1-855-TU-TIGER. If you can't make the game, you can follow all the action online and for free at TowsonTigers.com, starting at 7:15 with the pregame show hosted by myself and Hunter Lochte. Thanks for watching another episode of the Tiger Lacrosse Report, presented by Northwestern Mutual, and go Tigers.
Hail to the Towson Tigers, we're true to the black and gold.